All right.
We are live, everybody.
We are live.
Happy Friday. Wow, you're already reaching for the glass,
I'm
Evo?
itching right now. I'm telling you. It's been a rough start.
Oh my god, welcome back to
It's
another Shit Talk Fridays. I'm Gina.
and I'm Evo. Welcome.
Lord have mercy. And tonight we're drinking a gnarled vine, which is actually the wine last week that I said that it was one of our favorites, but it was harder to get. And today I had a very eventful day. And luckily, it led us to the liquor store, or the wine store, rather, that had this wine, which I was pretty happy about. So, let's cheers, Evo.
Cheers.
Jesus, Lord of mercy.
I need 2 straws for this one.
Okay.
Nice. You know what's funny is that it's called, was it Total Wine or something like that? Name of the store.
Yes.
But they have a pretty serious selection of alcohol there, which is strange. Like it should be like Total Wine and Liquors, I think. I mean, they've got like some premium alcohol
Or
there.
wouldn't the correct verbiage be total wine and spirits? Isn't that what they call liquor, spirits?
I don't know.
I don't know. Anthony, why don't you look that up for us?
Spirits. Stuff that gets you in the
Our
spirits.
son Anthony is in the other room, so I'm just gonna have him look up something for us. And also, can you log into the stream for us just to check it?
Yeah, I did. It's live.
Okay, and just throw in something in the chat for us. Anyway, so tonight we are talking about weird fetishes and why we love them. Now, we have talked about fetishes previously, but this time the way that we're going to be talking about them is a little different. And it's because something happened this week that made us want to kind of revisit this topic of fetishes.
Interesting too, because I mean, like, you know, you hear about this stuff, but you never really think like it happening to you.
Yeah, and I'll be honest. Oh, hi Elias, welcome to the stream. Oh,
What's up, buddy?
so happy that you're in college. So happy for you. And Edgar, welcome to the stream. And
What's up,
Jen,
Edgar?
welcome to the stream. What up?
What up? What up? What up?
So this past week, ladies and gentlemen, I had an interesting situation happen, and I want to share it with you, which is why we're going to be talking about these like weird fetishes. And like, there's nothing inappropriate here that we're going to be talking.
I mean,
Maybe.
it depends on what you find inappropriate.
Maybe. So anyway,
I'm offended.
so maybe what wound up happening was I got a comment on one of our videos on YouTube, and the person commented, "Hey, your hair's really beautiful. Would you be open-minded to a suggestion?"
But then they say, "Do you take requests?"
Yes, you're
That's what
absolutely
it
right.
was, which blew, like, totally threw me off, because they went from "Do you take request" into what you're about to fill us in on. So
And Eddie, welcome to the stream. Thank you everybody for joining us tonight. We got a bunch of fam here tonight, loving it.
What's up, family?
Okay, so you're right. The person, and I'm going to refer to this as person, because you
Persons,
say
yeah.
he, and we have no idea if it's a he or
You're
a
right.
she,
You're
because
absolutely right.
it was never told whether it was a lady or a gentleman. So this person said, "Do I take requests?" And I thought that they were referring to a request of potentially like a hair video or something, a topic on the show or something like that. So I was like, yeah, it depends on what
Which
it is.
would have been actually really cool if they like requested that
Yes.
you did something with your hair.
Yes, and I was like, that's why I wrote back, it depends what it is. And then the person was like, "Okay, is there a place I could message you, because it's kind of long?" And I'm like, "All right, cool. Yeah." I'm like, the link to our Instagram is in the bio.
Mm-hmm.
Hit us up on Instagram." This person then proceeds to hit me up on Instagram, and then starts off by being like, "Hey, it's me from YouTube. I hope this is not weird. And I hope I'm not bothering you." They were being like super apologetic, like right from the beginning, which was already like making me be like, all right, this is a
It's
little
already
weird.
weird from the start. Yeah.
And I'm like, and so they like were being overly apologetic, and I was basically like, "Okay, I get it. You're not a bother. What's up?" And the person then is like, so are you open-minded? I was like, all right, buddy, now you're being creepy because now
Like, is
like
this about hair or what?
like just get to the fucking point.
Yeah.
Long story short, this person asked me if I was willing to pose with my feet and my feet only, and that they would pay me $20 because they were
$2 a toe.
they were a digital arts student, and this was for some sort of project that they were doing. And by the way, while this was happening, Evo and I were in the car
we're
together,
driving.
and I'm like literally turning to Evo, telling Evo what's what's happening, and Evo's like, $20.
I'm like, nah.
Evo was like, but before, so when the person said $20, I was like, you know what? Let me think about it. I'll get back to you. And I just left them on red because I was like, I had to think about it. Like overall, I was honestly like, am I gonna send this person a picture of my feet for $20? And then they wanted them in particular poses because supposedly they were going to then be drawn.
Well, he said he was
You keep saying he. We don't
I'm
know.
sorry.
If it was
I
he.
apologize. I retract that statement. This person said that they were a digital arts apprentice, right?
Yeah, something to that nature.
Something to that nature. No, and that's definitely what he called what that person called themselves, was a digital arts apprentice. And so immediately, like, you know, I'm big into cryptocurrency. I'm big into blockchain. And digital art right now is something that's really big in that space, right? So when he said, when you're talking to me, and he said he's a digital,
and when they said,
thank you. Oh my God, I gotta I'm gonna smack myself. They said that they were a digital arts apprentice. I've seen so many people right now hustling, trying to get the next big digital art thing going, because the way that you can make money on this stuff is crazy. And basically the way that it works is that an NFT is something that's called a non-fungible token, right? It's something that you can create and you cannot duplicate. So that...
You mean other people can't duplicate it?
No one can duplicate it.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Because you said you can't recreate it. You mean
you
once you create that one, no one else can recreate it.
It's one of one.
Okay.
Right? And there is an immense value behind that when it comes to art, because there's a lot of, you know, fraudulent art that goes out there, and it's hard to tell frauds from reals and reals from fake and blah blah blah. So and the beautiful thing is that when you create an NFT, which is a digital art, you as the creator now are for life attached to that digital art. So if I sell it to you, I make money. Then you resell it to somebody else, you make money, but I still make money on that resale.
Because it's your original piece of work.
Yes, it's like literally like the whole setup when you have the rights to something and you go through a publishing, and then they give you, you know, every part of the sale. You skip everybody gets cut out. It's just you directly, and you get a cut of every single time that thing is sold. So immediately I'm like, I know feet is a big thing. Like feet is like one of the most common fetishes.
And Jen says your feet should be 200 grand each. Nah, bro, 500 for each pose.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so then I'm like, I'm thinking, and all of a sudden I'm just like, the businessman is coming out of me, and I'm like, the numbers are starting to add up in my head.
Yeah, Eva was percolating in the car, and I was like, listen, I told this person just to kind of like, I'll let them know. And Eva was like, yo, tell this person $200.
Yeah, I'm like, at least $200 for a picture of your feet. And I'm like, because the way that I see it, I can see that if this guy happened to have made a collection of pictures of feet, and now feet are one of a kind. They're like, you know, they're really one of one.
Yeah.
And people have feet fetishes. So imagine a collection of beautiful feet, and they're created in digital NFT. So they're one of one. No one else can buy these. You create them. You have this beautiful art piece of all beautiful feet, and then you display that on sale. And I can't imagine how many people would try to buy that, or the bidding war that would go on for that piece of artwork. And so I'm like, hell no. You got to get more money for that. That's just.
I was honestly so mind blown by this, because I was like, why? Okay. I was confused because the person in any of our videos, you can't see my feet.
No.
And this person complimented my hair and then was asking me for pictures of my feet. So I ended up telling the person that I wasn't interested and that to basically have a nice day. And, like I just wasn't going to do it because honestly, I knew this person wasn't going to give me $200 for a picture of my feet. And
Hey, you can't put a price on preference.
yeah, I honestly felt like it was somewhat of a gimmick. Like I felt like they were actually trying to get something for really cheap so that they could do something with it that in the end would be more profitable for them. But is that my own thought process?
Shit,
Not necessarily. That was definitely influenced by Evo.
You could have sent them a picture of my foot, and he would have paid you for it.
You keep saying he. We don't know if it's a he.
Thank you so much.
Because the person did not like on their YouTube profile. It's just like a picture of a cat, and it was a picture of a cat on their Instagram profile. So like we don't know, but real talk, the majority of people that engage in more obscure, more weird fetishes are men. Like the majority of people doing it are men. So I do know that for a fact based on psychologynews.com.
You know what's funny is that, or interesting, is that I guess why I keep saying he is because anytime that I've ever seen that type of fetish portrayed in any type of online platform or TV, it is the man having the fetish.
Yeah, of course.
So, by default, I just say he, but I shouldn't be saying that.
You know what I noticed is that I actually have my Apple Watch on. I never wear my Apple Watch on the live, but it's whatever. I ain't trying to promote them. And then Edgar says, I'll send you a pic of mine after 1 month of not cutting my toenails and painting my feet to look like I got gout. And then I'll send it to a person and see what happens. LOL.
I bet you there's a fetish for that.
You know what? After looking into some of the fetishes, I'm more than certain that someone would be like, gout, long tail nose, send it to me. Ooh. And then optimistically cynical, thank you for joining us, because I actually told you, I gave you a shout out to join us, says, I left my kid strapped to a baby changing table for 2 hours. Well, listen, if you want to put that in the category of a fetish, have a good day, sir. And then Jen says, also, this person probably saw you multiple times and knows you have internet personality. What if they use it maliciously? And hello, Melissa, welcome to the stream.
Well, I mean, they could use it however they want. It's just it would be the picture of her feet would not be like her face would not be included. So there's no way that, you know what? Actually, there could be a way. Like let's just say you did get. Let's just say like we did like really, become something of a thing, right? And now all of a sudden, this guy has a picture of your feet, and
this person.
Oh, God damn it! Again.
I'm gonna like.
Thank you.
Every time you do it, I'm gonna pow you.
Keep correcting me. I know I'm messing up here. But this person has a picture of your feet, and then one day, you're on like, the cover of some magazine, or some tabloid magazine, and then he's like, such and such got her picture of her feet. Now it's worth like $10 million because he got it, or this person got it before, you blew up.
Listen, if someone's gonna try to blackmail me with my feet, that would be some funny ass shit. Like that's like the one time I don't know if anyone else has gotten these emails. I've gotten emails and it's always in my fucking Hotmail because I still have an old Hotmail account that I use for like junk mail. And I literally got an email once that was like, I have video of you on a porn site masturbating and I'm going to email it to all your friends. Send me $500 now. I was like, yo, send it to all my friends. Matter of fact, send it to my parents, my grandparents, and tell them I was having a good time. Have fun with that, sir. You think I give a fuck?
Oh, man. People.
That shit was so funny. So, and Jen says that she's loving the green lighting. Thank you so much. And yes, optimistically cynical. I would agree with you. There is some creepy shit out there.
Some? How about a plethora?
So what's interesting to me about that is like, I feel like in my profession, I meet a lot of people, right? I meet tons of people and I never feel like maybe once or a couple times in my life, I want to say that I came across someone when interacting with them. I was like, this person likes to smell poo-poo out of people's butt cracks. Like, even though I did tell you that once, I do think that we have neighbors down the street that they chop up people and put them in their basement. But I'm generally a very good judge of character. I just wonder where these people are. because some of the fetishes that Eva was going to talk about, when we talked about them, I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I actually had to we had to like X some of those off that list because they got a little weird.
Yeah. So why don't you share some of them with us? And like, I find them really interesting, and then I'm gonna share with you fetishes that I have that are not sexual driven, that are actually for more of a mind, like receiving dopamine in the brain, like, you know, to get that that pleasure in the brain, and it's not necessarily about the body.
Okay, well, so one of the first fetishes that I came across that I thought was particularly strange and interesting was it's called mechanophobia, and it's a fetish for mechanical parts, like mechanical, like anything mechanical, cars, motorcycles, machinery.
So then how does the person interact with it?
So they can interact with it with a number of ways. So like just by touching it. So the person might be get aroused by the sensation of metal, or just the thought of a machine, and what it represents and its power. Maybe sitting in a chair, and the leather and the squeaking of the chairs that might make noise. And this is actually where I know everybody's heard it at some point or not, where people like men like to stick their dicks in car tailpipes.
I'm sorry, Eva.
Yeah.
I have never in all of my life ever heard no shit like that.
When all else fails, just fuck a car. I guess, right? Yo.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this. As you were saying that, the first thing I thought about was Vin Diesel, and he's like, I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
Yeah,
and he's like touching the car like,
Maybe just a little mechanophobia. Maybe just a little bit. I don't know.
No, it's not mechanophobia. It's mechanophilia.
Mechanophilia.
Yeah, because
Yes.
phobia would mean that you're afraid
Fear,
of it.
yes.
Ophilia is that you're
You're absolutely right.
yeah,
Yes.
like you're actually in love with
Mechanophilia,
it.
Yes.
Like you enjoy it.
It's a fetish. Yes.
Yes. Oh man.
Yep.
Optimistically cynical said fetish. Okay. I'm into those varicose veins, and fetishes are preferences with no reproduction utility. People hump their cars. Jen is saying.
Yeah.
So.
People do.
Yeah, like. She said it must be so dry.
Gotta get that. They gotta use that WD-40.
Chicks with big boobs have more milk. Oh man, listen, I honestly, that took me like I get it. I can understand someone being like someone like, cause like when I see a nice car, I'd be like, ooh, that shit is sexy.
Yeah.
But am I getting aroused by it? No.
Right. So fetishes kind of like come from an early experience, like sort of in the time where somebody's going through puberty. That they have an experience, and maybe somewhat sexual, and for some reason they found it to be either interesting, or they got aroused by it at that age, and it's just that combination of like the right place at the right time that creates these fetishes. And it's just these different experiences for people, like when you're really getting to know your body, know yourself, and you're just exploring everything about you. You're having all these weird feelings, with puberty. Things are a lot more sensitive than others, and so when you combine that with a unique experience that for some reason you find interesting or find pleasure in it, or it's it happens to you get aroused by it, fetish is born.
I could definitely understand how that. I could definitely see how that could happen. Like maybe you have an experience somewhere or with something or some place, and then it like ties that together. I could see how that could make sense, even though some of these I find really out there, and I don't understand how the connection happens.
Something about it just hits close to home, I guess. Who's this? I mean, it's hard to explain how some of these even become fetishes, but they do. Like, for example, here's another one that I think is kind of weird, and I don't see how this came about, but
Eddie says cartel pipes. For some reason, that reminds me of the movie Ex Machina with Oscar Isaac. Eddie said that, and then Edgar says a scene from RoboCop 2 comes to mind when the girl realizes RoboCop 2 is the bad guy, Kane and gets off before Kane breaks hem neck. Is that like when it's, and Melissa says, is that like when in the movies the girl liking the guy because motorcycles turn her on?
Potentially. I know. You know what? So that, I believe that's more of like a bad boy fetish.
I could see that. And I can understand how Eddie is making the connection to Ex Machina, because Ex Machina was it was AI and she
Right.
was obviously a robot. So like I could see, and in that movie, the Oscar Isaac, who was the engineer or the scientist that created her, had a like a colleague come and participate in the study, and then that colleague wind up fucking falling in love with
Yeah.
her, and it's like, my guy, she's a machine.
She's a machina.
She's a machina. All right, so share some more of. Oh, then I'm sorry, Edgar. He says breaks her neck. Okay.
Okay. So another one that I just found very strange, but I guess, to each their own, is eproctophilia,
Okay.
which is a fetish with farts.
Oh
Now,
man.
this can be in the form of just smelling a fart,
Eva.
farting in someone's face, or having somebody fart in your face.
Wait. No.
Something about the aroma of someone else's gases just happens to turn people on.
When I was a little girl in my house, we used to play the fight game.
Yeah. You know what's funny is
Wait. Did you? Wait. Okay, I'm gonna try to compose myself. If I'm not mistaken, and Melissa, please help me here, because you're on you're on the live stream with us right now. If I'm not mistaken, that was also part of Eddie Murphy's either Raw or Delirious, where they played the fight game. And in my house, my dad used to be like let's say I was sitting here talking to you, and my dad would come and he would fart. Like I wouldn't be facing,
Yeah.
and like you wouldn't even know he would do it, and you wouldn't know until you heard the fart. And then the game was, you would try to get the person, like, so if my dad did it to me, I would try to get him when he wasn't paying attention, and then we would all wind up like
Just
doing that to each
farting in
other.
each other's faces.
Yeah, so but we called it the fart game.
fart game.
Like it wasn't fart, it was fart. Like
That's
fart in your face.
I can't say that
So
me and my family were that. So what's interesting, right? That's okay, but you know what? I'm
sorry.
gonna leave that alone. I can't. I'm just not gonna.
But can someone please confirm that if an Eddie Murphy, I can't remember if it was Raw or Delirious, but did Eddie Murphy
Fart.
in his family, I think he had a part of his comedy sketch where his family, yes, and Melissa, okay, thank you, Melissa, she's confirming it. Yes, Eddie played the fart game. So and she's referring to Eddie Murphy,
Murphy, right.
not Eddie in the comments. Okay, good. So my family's not the only fucking weirdos out there.
So I listen. I can't even imagine how this would even become a fetish. I mean, if I had to take a guess, I mean, what is it? Like you're at your house one day and somebody that you kind of like is trying to tease you and they fart in your face, and then, so instead of it stinking, you're kind of turned on by it. It's like you'll take what you can get. You can't really get them, so they fart in your face, and so you take that. And so now all of a sudden you're turned on by farts. How do you even approach somebody like that? Like, yo. Is there an international sign for that? Like, is there like a
Could you imagine that?
From one eproctophiliac to another?
Oh my god.
Like,
Could you imagine like being intimate with somebody and you getting all hot and heavy and they're like, yeah, girl, fart in my face.
how do you even like bring that to the table? How does that? I don't know.
How do you lay it on the table?
How do you lay that on the table? Like, it's just, you just, I don't even understand how that's like something that you could just kind of slide under. Like,
Yes, and then Edgar says, "Oh, okay, wait. Hold on a second." Melissa says it was delirious, and then she also says that that's a really good way to get pink eye.
yo, for real.
And Edgar says Eddie Murphy's Raw impersonated Richard Pryor's voice talking about shit. Yes, I remember that when he was talking about shit in the bathtub. And then Edgar saying that the fight game was in Delirious. Okay, so And then Jen says it has to be like phenomenons and she's also saying that she's laughing so hard. I'm glad that you're laughing with me.
No, she says it has to do with pheromones.
Oh, pheromones. Okay,
so that's
sorry.
what I was thinking. I was kind of thinking that, and I was gonna mention that.
I read that all fucked up.
Yeah. Well, it's all right.
I don't know. You just said "guy" like 15 fucking times.
No, you
in
know
the
what's funny
beginning
is because like our situation where like I'm
you could see the
farsighted
comment.
and you're nearsighted.
Yeah, I'm just like, what is that?
You're like, what is that? Is that velvet?
And Eddie
Anyway.
says you bring to the table. You bring that to the table with the Dutch oven. Oh my god. And then optimistically cynical makes a good point. He says dogs smell each other's asses.
Yeah, you're right. So maybe that's just a person trying to get their primal instincts out.
Yeah, and then optimistically cynical is also saying it could be pheromones.
All right, I could see that. Not too bad.
I mean, I guess, but like, yo, it also really depends on what you ate that day because it ain't gonna smell like no fucking pheromones if I ate pizza.
Hell no. I mean, you really gonna have to like turn a blind eye to like what the hell's coming out of her butt or his butt to really like get through the fucking the fish and all the shit that was eaten to pick up those pheromones. You know what I'm saying? Like,
all right, please let's move on to the next one.
is that shit like a fine wine, huh? Is like is it like you really gotta like savor the moment?
You like a fat sommelier?
Yeah. Do you like go out to dinner and like make sure that you have like a fine ass dinner? Can you really like? I wonder like is there like a science to it, right? Where you can eat certain foods that like complement the fart. So like,
Evo, I'm fucking done. I'm fucking done.
Yeah.
Please don't go any further with that.
No, but there's got to be a science to this. Like, I can't just imagine it's just all stink ass.
It also reminds me of A Bug's Life when he's like, "Who ordered the poo-poo platter?" And all the flies come flying.
There you go.
But that I just said if you're like you are a fat you're a fat sommelier, right? And then that just reminds me of what also happened to me this week. I got to meet like a famous actor who I love in the city the other day. And it was so amazing. We actually did a segment on him. His name is Mamadou Athi, and he was in the movie. He was in the movie Patty Cakes, and he was also in the movie Uncorked, and he was also in the movie Unicorn Store with Brie Larson. And we did a segment on him because we talked about how we loved him as an actor, and we said that we thought he was up and coming. And I was walking to go get my car, and we bumped into each other in Manhattan, and I was just like, "Oh my god, I love you! I just want you to know that I think so you're dope. Amazing." Yeah, he was, so and dope. he told me that he thought it was. He really appreciated what I said to him, and it was just like,
out of all the celebrities you met, I was a little jealous that I wasn't there for that one.
Really?
Yeah, because I really enjoyed his stuff.
Yo, and real talk, I have met quite a few celebrities like just off the rip. Like I'll just be walking and be like, "Oh shit, it's Zoe Kravitz."
This is so.
How
weird.
are you?
Yeah.
But okay, let's go on to the next fetish, please.
All
because
right,
so far we got people who like to stick their poom poom and their pee pee in a car, and then people who like to sniff butts.
Yeah, people who have fetishes with farts. Now here's another interesting one that I'm just blown away on how this is even a thing, right? So this is called climacophilia.
Okay.
No, climacophilia.
Okay.
Which is the fetish of falling downstairs. Like what?
Wait.
Yeah, there's some sexy ass stairs right there. I gotta have that.
Wait, I want to tell you what's really funny about that. Again, Eddie Murphy. Again, I can't remember if it's Raw or Delirious, where he talks about Aunt Bunny, and Aunt Bunny falls down the stairs, and she falls down the stairs literally for 5 minutes. She's like, and as she's falling, she's calling out these things. She's like, "Oh my God, Lord Jesus Christ! Oh Lord Jesus Christ, this is my wig! Boom, 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 boom! Oh Lord Jesus Christ, this is my shoe! Boom, 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 boom!" And Eddie Murphy like makes a whole segment out of it. So like. Now I'm wondering, did Eddie Murphy, when he was researching for his sketch for this, did he research weird ass fucking fetishes?
Maybe. It kind of sounds like it.
Because like the fact that he had a chick falling downstairs, he played the fucking fight game.
That's genius. So look up weird fetishes and then turn that into a comedy act. And make that like your life story. Like these are people characters in
Yeah,
your
like
life.
so you take something
dope.
really obscure and then you like tie it into your life somehow.
That is dope.
And Jen says, but if people have no DNA in common, they don't think their partner will stink. They actually like the way their stink smells. I would somewhat agree with that because when you're stinky, you don't necessarily smell to me, but like I know that you smell. Does that make sense?
I guess, but
Like-
I
like-
just feel like farts are so gassy. Like they literally, it's the sewage system of your body.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Like you might just go outside, pick up a manhole, and stick your head in the sewer, and you're gonna get the whole town's farts. Like everybody's ass and shit is gonna be in there. You want to talk about a cocktail of shit? Like that's where you want to go if you are if you're a ecrophilia.
Oh my God. And Eddie says science says that methane in farts delays the onset of Alzheimer's. So ladies and gentlemen, do not hold your farts in. Let them shits out.
Yeah.
And then Melissa says it's delirious again. And oh wait, and optimistically cynical says Louis C.K. already did that. And then Edgar saying, now that reminds me of a scene from Coming to America when he first moved to Queens and the guy fell down the stairs to try and sue the landlord. Oh, and then Jen says that's why we always think that our siblings stink because they have DNA in common, that like it's almost like smelling themselves.
Interesting. You know, I looked up. I also there was another thing. Like I was looking up fun facts, and I'm just gonna jump out of this real quick. But it's kind of like to touch on what we're talking about. I was looking up like fun sex facts, and it turns out that it's a theory. There's no real like factual science behind this, but that pubic hair. The reason we have pubic hairs is to entrap or to trap our pheromones, our scents in the pubic hairs.
When it comes to women, that's okay. As regarding the pheromones, we have pubic hairs for some of the same reasons why we have eyebrow hair, where we have lip hair. For women, pubic hair retains moisture.
Right, it retains the moisture, which retains your body scent, which has your pheromones in it.
Yes, but it also helps when a woman gets aroused to keep her moisture in that particular vicinity.
Understood, right. But if you mix that moisture with your
your natural scent,
scent, and then your hairs are used to trap that in there. What
sorry.
are you thinking about right now? I already know I already can see the look on your face.
I'm like, so when your upper lips fucking stinks, just like fucking pheromones stink.
Come here. Yeah, so I thought that was pretty funny. But yes, so going back to what we were talking about here, climacophilia, the fetish of falling downstairs.
Oh my God. And then optimistically cynical said, that reminds me of that time found my grandma dead after she fell down the stairs.
Maybe she had a fetish.
It was time for grandma to go, ladies and gentlemen.
She OD'd on her fetish. Not for nothing. there are deaths that are associated to some of these fetishes.
Could you imagine that? You'd be like, girl, I love you so much. Can you just go down these fucking, just push this bitch down the fucking
Let me show
stairs.
you how I live my life. One step at a time.
Yo, that would be so fucking fucked up and funny at the same time.
I'm just so how do you play this fetish out? Like, how does this even play out? Do you roll down the stairs? Do you like slide down it real sensual and sexy and like make it erotic? I mean, do you enjoy every step?
I feel like if it's a true fetish, like the people that partake in this, like they want you to fall. I don't think it's like you doing it lightly.
Like violent.
Because then what like. Then how would you actually receive like gratification out of that if they're not really doing it to like the utmost way it should be done?
So, all right. So you think that it's like there's like intent, like pain and intent behind it. Like it's meant to like they want to see you suffer. Like they want to see a person get hurt.
Yes. And I think it's probably more tied to that. And then optimistically cynical says no, she fell in her living room, so she died in the living room. That's actually a line from a Little Wayne, from a little. We like that. I was dead in the living room. Okay, so now we have you sticking your shit in cars, you are farting in people's faces, and you are pushing bitches downstairs.
Yeah. I need power.
I can't help you with that.
Oh shit. Should be all right. Maybe not. Who
No,
knows?
you're not, because you have Ecamm on there.
That's what it is.
Anthony, can you grab Evo's
Uh,
charging cord?
No, I'm gonna need yours because mine is wrapped up within my system.
What do you mean gonna need mine?
Because
Okay, Anthony, can you come over here, please? You're killing me. So continue.
I didn't listen, ma. I didn't know. I didn't know it was gonna be like this.
You should know better.
I thought
What
that
would we do if Anthony wasn't here right now?
I just got up.
Can you unplug my charging cord? Okay, so what do we have next?
So next we have anastemophilia,
Okay.
which is a fetish of height, which is for giant or little person.
Okay, to me that seems very normal though.
But that to be a fetish. I mean, I know there's fetishes with little people. Because like you can go like there's I mean when I used to work at the mortgage company, these guys used to always talk about hiring a little person, and like to like strip for them and have a show, and like they just thought that would be hilarious. That's all they talked about. It was the weirdest thing ever.
Okay, so who's weird? The women coming to dance, or the guys that are constantly talking about it?
They are the ones that are talking about it. I never said that the little person was weird, but the little person collecting a bag. Like yo, they're trying to capitalize off of that, which is dope. But yeah, I guess and like what and so like the.
But I feel like that's very normal. Like for someone to be like really turned on by someone that's tall or short.
Okay, all right. So
because a little insight into me, I have a thing for teeth, and I actually kind of love if the teeth are kind of crooked. Like,
is that right?
Hello, Evo. When I first met you.
I mean, yeah, I didn't have the straightest teeth.
Okay.
Straightest teeth when you met
The
me.
what?
Straightest teeth. I know I mispronounced that. You're not gonna get me this time.
Okay, but I'm not trying to get you. I'm just trying to make you re-say it, because then when I rewatch this live and I'm like, what did he say?
We're not doing that. I'm not riding that train.
Okay. So, Eddie says, I think Gina's right on with seeing someone fall. It's the gratification derived from seeing someone endure that pain by busting their ass. So yes, I think that's definitely what it is. And then optimistically cynical, talk about your favorite fetishes with your child in an earshot. Yeah, listen, our child is 24.
Yep.
And there's no shame in my game.
Nope.
And Melissa says, I can see someone wanting to be with a giant. Oh my God. And then Eddie says, Melissa, and a dude who wants to be with a giant with a little person. Aw, we have a visitor.
Really?
She's being very fluffy. Our cats for the last day or so have really been on edge because I'm currently fostering another cat, and I had to have the cat in our bathroom. And when I tell you, our cats were on high alert. They were, if you made a sudden move in the kitchen, they were like, they were all trying to like run out, and they were all so scared. So now that the cat is like, it's placed in somewhere else where it's like out of their presence, they're like all acting normal now. And I feel like they're actually trying to be a little bit more affectionate because they know they get the fucking boot.
I think that's what it is. They're feeling it right now.
They're
feeling the heat.
Because the other cat is a sweetheart, and I think I would trade all three of them for that one cat.
You talking out your ass. Anyway, moving on.
All right.
So wait, before we move on,
okay.
I just had I had an interesting thought. Tell me this wouldn't be the perfect match.
Okay, tell me, because Melissa's already talking about looking for matching giant parts.
No, forget about looking for. Well, that's a good idea. But so you have a little person, a little person that has anastemophilia,
which is the love of.
It's just the love. It's a fetish with height.
Okay.
Whether it be big or small, right? So, but you have a little person who has a fetish of big people.
Yeah, I think that's what someone was saying.
And then you have a big person with a fetish with little people. So you have two people with the same fetishes, but one's little and one's big.
Yeah, no, I think someone. I actually think.
No, Melissa said looking for matching giant parts.
No, Yeah, and then Eddie said, yes, and a dude who wants to be the giant with the little person.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I missed that.
They're saying that exact scenario. Yeah. Listen, let's be real here. Are we all not imagining how that would work? Come on, be for real right now. You not like thinking like,
Optimistically cynical, bro. You kill me. He said I could throw a little person down the stairs. Yo,
That's the comment of the night.
that was good, brother.
Take those two fetishes together, and fucking fucking chuck a bitch down the stairs.
Oh shit, that was good.
Yo, that was really good. You know what's really funny?
What?
We haven't done a funny live in a while, and I'm really enjoying this.
We've been on some serious shit.
I know we've been on some serious shit, and I wanted to.
We almost went serious with this one too.
I know, and I was like, no, I don't want to do that, because I think that there's some people in the social media world that have a fetish with attacking women.
Oh yeah,
and
for sure.
They love to come at me, and I'm just like, let's take a break from that, because I'm really getting people. I'm creating enemies in the world right now. I'm creating, because I'm almost certain today when I went into Walmart, there was a guy looking at me, and I was like, he looks like one of the guys that commented on the video. He's like, that's that bitch right there that said this and this and this and this and that.
Yeah. So.
And I was on the phone with my friend, and I was like, there's a guy over here looking at me a little weird right now, and he looks awfully familiar. So I think tonight's live, we're gonna fucking put that shit into third gear. All right, so share one more with us, and then I want to go into what are some of my favorite fetishes that give me mental pleasure.
All right. So, last one on my list. Actually, I have a bunch more on my list, but this is one that I found that was pretty interesting.
No, and then Jen says while she's farting, so throw the little person down the stairs while they're farting.
And then you run down the stairs and try to smell that fart.
No, and then they just have them roll into a car. You put all four of the fetishes together. I'm sorry, we're not right. We're not right. And Mark Cavness, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
What's up, Mark?
Oh man. So, my face hurts right now.
All right. So my last fetish is called nasolingus, which is the fetish of sucking on a nose, right? So it's like, just fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck sucking on a titty or, sucking on a finger. I want to suck some boogers. Like, how does that even like?
You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of an episode of Family Guy where Meg thought that if she could remain a virgin, if she let guys fuck her in the ear.
Bro.
And she almost went deaf.
There is a theory to that.
Did you not? What?
To for people who are not supposed to have sex, so they have these other ways of having sex.
Yeah, I mean, that's anal. Let's be real. That's having anal sex. A lot of women did that to preserve their virginity, especially in the 50s and the 60s, where women were still kind of not allowed to be the women that we are today.
Yeah.
But letting a guy fuck you in the ear, bro, no. And if he has a micro penis, but I
mean, if he has a micro penis, I think that's his only option is to fuck you in the ear.
So sucking on a nose,
yes,
or
sucking on a nose with a side of boogers.
I honestly
This is an actual fetish.
I don't understand. These fetishes for me are funny. The height one makes sense to me.
Yeah.
The rest of them seem so obscure that I don't even understand the connection. And I know that the example that you gave was that at one time in a person's life, they have an experience that then they wind up growing up having this type of fetish. So,
but how does that even work out? Are you kissing a person and you got your tongue down their mouth and all of a sudden you just grab them by their face and just slide up to the nose? And just start sucking on their nose? Is that
I honestly, Evo, I have.
How do you maneuver that? It's interesting.
My stomach just made a really weird noise, and as it was happening, I was like, I wonder if they're gonna be able to hear that, because
no, the microphone is very concentrated right here.
Well, I also work in TV and film, and you'd be surprised at things that you could hear. I just want to look up something really quick that I looked up earlier today. I want to just make sure that this is what I'm talking. Okay, yeah. Okay, so now that you've given us some of these really off the beaten path fetishes, I was really interested as to where a person could where do you go to find these fetishes? Because if you want to engage in this type of stuff, you're not just gonna do it by just walking up to a random person and being like, yo, shorty, can I push you down the stairs? Like, that's not gonna happen. So there's a website that kind of mimics Facebook. And it's called
Fetish Book.
it's called Fet Life.
Oh, Fet Life. Okay.
And
I think Fetish Book would have been a better one, but
I mean, listen, there probably is
I gotta
something out
look
there,
up that
but
URL.
this
I'm
is
about to buy it. Nobody buy it.
but Fet Life is the most dominant website that you can go on. They have almost 11 million users. In addition to the 11 million, they have people that are actively in forums and in chats, and there's like up to like hundreds of millions of these happening simultaneously.
Okay.
So this is where you would go if you had one of these fetishes, and even the more like well-known fetishes, like, you know, a foot fetish, or, you know, BDSM, or like, you know, those type of, you know, more like sexual driven fetishes. This is where you can go if you're interested. Fetlife.com.
Okay.
You make yourself a profile and you go and you search all whatever fetish that you're into, and you can find a community of people that are into the same fetishes that you are, and you kind of link up.
Interesting.
It is actually very interesting, because honestly, I had no clue that shit fucking
That's
existed.
dope though, because I mean, listen, it's I can't imagine how you would even link up with people before these websites existed. Like, that's kind of dope, because it really kind of makes it like easier for a person to link up with other people that have other fetishes or similar fetishes.
Well, I would think that prior to the internet, prior to the ability to like be in chat rooms, or, you know, social media, or Facebook or MySpace, or, you know, now Instagram and all these other platforms, you had to go to places that had those type of nightlifes, that where you could find, because they have places.
But didn't they have like, they didn't have like special magazines and newspapers that had like the classified sections in the back?
And you know where you could find those. Sometimes they would be free, like in the village. You could find them like in the back of, and like it, you know, that was like the place to go to find that kind of stuff. Not that I know about that or anything.
No, yeah,
so Mark, okay, wait, hold on a second. I'm gonna read some of these comments real quick. But I'm gonna read them from here because I don't know. Maybe my eyesight is going more. I feel like there's more here than there is.
I think you left off from Mark when he's talking about I have chin fetishes.
Okay, so Mark says, I have chin fetishes. I give my wife chin hickeys all the time. What? And Evo has a cryptocurrency fetish, because the audacity of this man right now checking cryptocurrency while we're on the live.
More money.
Wait, Mark, are you for real? I mean, listen, I don't feel like that's really insane. I just feel like it's kind of like part of the neck. And then Jennifer says, I have a fetish for men over 6 feet, makes me feel tiny and delicate. And Melissa says, what about the people that dress like animals? Jennifer says furries.
Yep.
Is that what it's called? You know, find these types of fetishes when you go on vacation. It's probably and then okay, wait. So and then Melissa says yes, furries. Oh my god. So Optimistically Cynical says, me and my coworker were talking about making a subscription-based midget elevator porn website. And then yeah, okay, so Eddie's confirming. Eddie said the Voice had classified section for people looking to explore. So that's why I said, but that's why I said you could find it in the village, because the Village Voice was where you could find those things. And then they were free too. And Optimistically Cynical is giving the website address that they would have created. And hello, Sonia, welcome to the stream. And Mark says, I'm for real. Her chin is cute as hell. Aw, that's so cute. Well, I said that I have a fetish for teeth. You know, like I'm turned on by like teeth that are like a little crooked, like not off the wall crooked, and like have like unique look to them. And you know, Evil just hit that shit right on the head.
The fangs did it for you.
Yeah. So let's go into great, because now I'm gonna kill you, but
Well,
that's fine.
All right.
Excuse me. Anthony, we need you again.
What happened?
Can you go upstairs and get my charging cord that's in the living room on the left side of the couch, because now my laptop is dying because I gave Evo my cord. Thank you so much. I think we would die without Anthony. So let's go into
But before you go, that can you make mention of the link at the top of the chat, please?
Oh yes. So if you haven't noticed, pinned at the top of the chat is our donation link. If you would like to donate to Shit Talk Fridays, you can donate as much as you like, as little as you like.
Anything helps.
Because Evo and I are fully funding this venture, and anything helps.
Absolutely.
And
to help us bring you better content.
Yeah, it would
and
be
more
greatly
quality
appreciated. We've considered making this also a podcast where you could just listen to us, but there is some cost involved there.
Yes.
That maybe we'll just have to circle around back to that. And then so, and Optimistically Cynical says something regarding pedophilia, and I would agree with you, because when I did research regarding fetishes, there were some fetishes that I was like,
That's like in the sketchy neighborhood, huh?
Yeah, well, no, it's beyond sketchy. There's definitely something about it that is there's pedophilia involved in it. But I want to get into like the fun fetishes. And what I mean by fun fetishes that are more about the mental stimulation, and women tend to like these more.
So we're not fucking cars no more? Is that what it is?
No, we're not fucking cars anymore. We're not pushing bitches down the fucking stairs.
Damn it.
Okay.
Optimistically Cynical, I say we're done, bro.
All right, so you just might as well sign off right now, because we're not going to be talking about this. So these are some of my favorites, but it come to find out that these are a lot of people's favorites. So the first one that I'm going to mention is pimple popping. Why this is considered a fetish is because the actual action of watching something being in a state and then it being ruptured, it has to do with someone having a stronger morbid curiosity. So someone that has a curiosity for things that are considered unpleasant.
Okay.
And there's some sort of like gratification watching it being like erupted, it being disrupted, it being like taken out. So you almost kind of feel like, yeah, get that fucking pimple.
Take that.
So yes. So look, Jen says, yes. And Dr. Pimple Popper, if you don't know who the fuck this is, she's huge. She blew up on YouTube. She's huge on TikTok now. And now what I'm noticing is because I follow her on TikTok, I'm getting new pimple popping content. And it's from, listen to me. Yes, look at me. I'm like, pimple popping content from other people doing it. And when I tell you that I can literally, like, we'll be in bed and you'll be talking to me,
did
Evo?
you see that new Pimple Popper 5000?
Evo, I love you, but you'll be talking to me and I'll be like, uh-huh.
Yeah, I
and
know
like
you
my
do.
eyes are getting wide because I just watched this one pimple popping video recently where they were just pulling blackheads out of someone's nose with like these tweezers. And when I tell you, every time they took one out, I was like, ooh.
Oh, God, that's
because
disgusting.
And what's so interesting about that is that a lot of men find it disgusting and women find it so fucking mentally gratifying.
You know what it is? I feel like all right, and I'm totally speculating here, literally taking a stab at this at just first glance. I feel like that because women are so into like skin regimen, that maybe that it might be gratifying because they know that it's like on the road to cleanse of the skin, and it's like really like getting all that nastiness out of the skin. And I mean, to have that out of your skin as a woman is something that most women achieve for, right? Like
yes, but the connection is actually about it being something unpleasant and then it being rectified
or eradicated.
Yes. So for example, think about it in another way. A dirty house. A woman potentially, and I'm not saying men don't think like this, a dirty house makes our minds feel uneasy. Like what's that saying? It's like a clean home. You feel like at peace.
Yeah.
So when you're watching a pimple popping video, you feel like you're finding peace in them cleaning it and them removing it. You're like, oh, they're making the world right now by doing that.
You know
shit.
what I'm imagining right now? I'm imagining a woman like with all of her like her utensils, right? Whatever the tools that she uses, like the Dr. Pimple Popper, where she like uses her utensils to take the stuff out of people's faces, and she's like the guy from Don't Be a Menace While Drinking Your Juice in South Central, when he's like trying to like
That's not what it is. Don't be
a menace while drinking your
don't
juice.
be a menace in South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. Trust me.
Okay, fine. You know what movie I'm talking about? Where he's sitting there and he's like trying to pick out which gun he should wear with which bunny slippers, and he's like, should I
wear the Glock 9 with the bunny slippers? Or should I wear the Tech 9?
So I'm imagining this Mr. the Pimple Popper, like, should I hit him with the long extended stainless steel tweezers, or should I hit him with the hook that I'm just gonna like rip his pimple out? That's all I'm thinking about as you're talking about.
And I'm so glad that it finally happened to you, where I'm saying something and something fucking weird pops into your mind. So in addition to women enjoying watching pimple popping, Jen actually already hit on it. She said, I already popped some pimples. We actually enjoy doing it to ourselves, and watching us do it, it also gives us the same type of gratification. It gives us come to find out through the research that I did, when we pop pimples, especially as women, we actually receive dopamine from our brain.
Yeah.
So like it then encourages us to do it more, because we feel like we're like, again, like I said, we feel like we're getting rid of something that's bad. And we have to rid of it. We have to like eradicate it. We have to like just do away with it. So we receive that dopamine. So that's why it's so hard sometimes to not fucking pop a pimple.
All right. There's a little bit of a debate going on right here in the chat about the name of this movie, so I need to.
Oh shit. Okay. Don't drink. What is it? Don't drink your juice in the. Don't be a menace.
Don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood.
Yeah, that's what I said. Or something to that.
Nope, that's
Don't
not
be
what
a
you
menace.
said. That's not what you said.
Okay,
That's
we're
not
gonna
what you
play
said.
this live
Yes,
back,
we
and
are.
we're gonna see.
It says, yeah, don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood.
Just be
Fact
also
checked.
aware of how many windows you have open, because I saw a bit of a lag. So, and Melissa says, oh, okay, wait, I gotta go back a little bit. Yeah, okay, so, all right, here we go. So Melissa says, I like to pop pimples and watching them on a video or anything like that. And then Edgar also says, so you watch Dr. Pimple Popper on TLC? I actually don't watch Dr. Pimple Popper on TV. I've only ever watched her on YouTube, and now I watch her on TikTok. I can't even tell you the last time that I watched TLC. We don't have cable. And then Melissa says, I watch the blackhead videos too. It's the watching the success of extracting and cleaning out. As I'm reading this, I'm like, ooh, yeah, bitch. I know exactly what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh, man.
And then, and Eddie says, yo, as a Virgo, I need to have shit in order. So yeah, blackheads eradicated is on my list. And then Edgar saying, don't be a menace to society while drinking your juice in the hood. It says don't be a menace to South Central. Is that what it says?
Yeah.
It's just a combination of all of the of like all of those movies
It's a spoof of Menace to Society
and Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood.
Yeah. So I'm so glad that I'm not the only person out there that enjoys these type of videos, because look, I'm like actually getting like a little fidgety just because
I see that.
the popping the pimples, removing the blackheads.
Well, I should know, because God, like every chance you get, you're trying to strap me down and like extract anything out of the pores of any part of my body.
I'm trying to do what, Evo?
You're trying to strap me down.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, listen.
And I don't mind.
Oh, okay. So let's move on to my next fetish.
I thought we were talking about fetishes.
That is also mentally stimulating, that gives us an injection of dopamine. And it is the cutting, packing, or putting into containers kinetic sand.
Oh, yes. Why didn't you? We should have.
Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to do yourself a favor, and especially if you're a Virgo, you will love these videos, and I'll tell you why. I
I
did a
feel
little
like I can
research.
load something up real quick.
I did a little research into why people like to watch kinetic sand be cut, packed, all types of different things done to kinetic sand, and it has to do with perfection. So because in the world, perfection is not real. Like, a person can't be perfect,
Right.
but we strive for perfection. So when we watch these videos and they're cutting sand and they're doing it what is almost like fucking perfect, when I tell you my fucking brain cells explode watching them cut it, it's like the most gratifying thing that I've ever seen in my motherfucking life.
I know you love
And
it.
then, like, when they pack the sand into things, and it's like they pack it so
this?
perfectly. Yes. So they pack it so perfectly, or they cut it so perfectly. And then at the same time, you're getting double stimulation because there is a feature of ASMR
Yes.
in
That's
it
exactly
too.
what
So
it is.
not only are you getting visually stimulated, you're getting audio stimulated because you're hearing them cut the sand.
Right.
And then you're watching them cut it in like this almost perfect fucking way. Oh my god, it makes me
You know
so
what?
happy.
I actually enjoy it too because I've sent you a bunch of those videos, and then what I enjoy the most is the type of knives that they use. I mean, they use like these really unique knives that you've never seen before. Like one of them that they had was like this.
I think
like
that's part of
the
it.
steel, the metal. The metal was like this rainbow like colored metal,
Yeah.
which was beautiful.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that's part of the visual stimulation. And optimistically cynical is asking if it's a fetish. And yes, it's considered a fetish because I seek it out.
Right.
I look for it. I receive stimulation from it. It's just not sexual stimulation. It's mental stimulation.
Yeah.
So it's a different type of fetish, or a kink, or fetish, or whatever it is. Because if I'm seeking this out to feel pleasure visually and like auditory,
Mm-hmm.
then it's still considered like fetish like. And Eddie and Melissa right now are saying Virgo power. Goodbye. And Vanessa too. Goodbye with that. And then Jen says, I was watching these last night. Okay, see? And I love how the women are already like pimple popping, fucking sand cutting, yo, and sand
Oh,
packing.
man.
It is honestly,
I tried to airdrop it to myself, but I'm not.
it's fine. Your
I can
computer's.
show it on the
No,
camera.
it's fine. Please don't do that.
All right.
And then Edgar says, I use kinetic sand for my preschoolers. They love it. So kinetic sand for kids, I think, is so much fun because it's indestructible almost. It's like you can fucking rip it apart and it just goes right back together. So I feel like there's like that essence of like, I could break this, but it won't really be broken.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, watching people cut fucking sand is honestly like, oh my god, and the more perfect they do it, the more enticing it is for me to just keep
and there's
fucking watching.
something about them playing it at like 1.5 times speed, right? Where it's like just a little bit faster. Where just like it's like.
Oh, Evo, stop!
Sorry.
Look at my face right now.
Sorry. You feeling that, huh?
Okay, so my last one, and then we're gonna get into our top 5 for tonight.
Oh, really?
It's like 5 minutes after 9. So my last one is actually
the fun
something really new, and I think the gentlemen in the audience will enjoy this too. Metal crushing. And you've seen me show you these videos. Okay, so the metal crushing videos it's basically like a conveyor belt or like a big steel wheel, the two of them coming together like this, and then it's just things being thrown into it and then them just being crushed over and over and over again. It's the same thing as the pimple popping. It's watching this like imperfect thing be destroyed. You're like, just get that shit out of my face and destroy it.
You know what? There's the one where it has like this machine, right? Where it's like these two wheels,
Yeah,
but
so
it has teeth.
yes, that's the one I'm talking about.
That's the
And they put like old fucking butane tanks in
Anything
there.
in there, and it's just like, and then like at first it's just bouncing around until the teeth catch it, and it's just like,
Let me tell you something,
and then the little pieces that spit out at the bottom.
Evo. I get so excited watching those videos. Especially when they put something big in there, because I'm like, ooh, let me see. Oh, how's this gonna work out? How's this gonna happen? How they gonna? Oh, and then like I start to like get excited when I start to see the thing, like, because like at first sometimes what will happen is the wheel will just kind of push it around, but the minute that it grabs it,
oh man,
and it starts to pull it, then I'm like, take it in, destroy it. I get so fucking excited.
That's, you know what, that kind of, I feel like that kind of falls in line with the pimple popping.
I said that already.
What the fuck am I? I don't know.
Because you're too busy looking at cryptocurrency.
Please, I looked at it once. All right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I said that it's
suave.
the same exact thing. What it is, it's watching something imperfect or something that is broken or something that is, and it getting rid of.
Yeah.
Something getting rid of it. So that is like, if you have not seen this shit, it's on TikTok. And let me tell you something. If one more fucking person tells me that they don't like TikTok or that they don't go on TikTok, and then they have the audacity to send me a TikTok video on fucking Instagram,
on a reel,
I'm going to unfollow you. It's done. I'm going to start unfollowing people, because the amount of times that people are like, oh, I'm not on TikTok, I don't like TikTok, but then they send me TikTok videos on Instagram. I'm like, is this real life? So on TikTok, they have these metal crushing videos, and I think, Edgar, you're an educator. I think your students would love it, because there's like a science behind it
he
too.
just made a comment. He commented on that.
Oh, okay. So he says, yes, metal crushing, like crushing a beer can, on one's head, or crinkling in one's hand. Like, yeah, like all of those type of like things being crushed, throwing into machines, banging them with hammers, just all those. It's just so fucking gratifying.
With the macho Randy Savage voice.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
Look at me, because I get so fucking excited. And then Jen says, yo, I don't know if she's saying yo, same about me getting pissed off about people on fucking Instagram sending me goddamn fucking TikTok videos. And then I think what's even more frustrating about it is that they're sending me TikTok videos that I saw like 2 months ago. And they're like, isn't this funny? And I'm like, I saw this 2 months ago.
It was 2 months ago.
2 months ago. So, this brings us into our top 5 for the night. And we thought, since we were talking about kind of just like weird, kind of like off the beaten path things that like, you're like, why do I like this shit? There's something morbid about this. There's something fucking weird about it. What this made me think about was something that Evo used to watch. I'm not going to tell you what it is. That Evo used to watch all the fucking time. And it started to give me fucking nightmares.
And my shit.
And I had to stop watching it because it was his nighttime show. So tonight, our top 5 is...
Top 5 best true crime shows of all time.
Mm-hmm. True crime.
Which crime.
Means that these things actually really fucking happen. So now you have a little bit of insight into this show that is maybe, I don't know what place it's on, that Eva would make me watch at night before bed, and then I started having fucking extreme nightmares.
One of these, the first one was on Lifetime.
I don't know, but I don't know what channel.
What order is this? In any order here?
Yeah, they're
right here from.
Yeah, that's number 1.
Number 1. Okay. All right.
So yeah, that's number 5. Number 4, number 3.
Okay, gotcha. All
number
right.
2, number 1. It must have came out. So do you want to put it in there now?
No, I got it. Right
okay.
Here. This is number 5 right here, right?
Yeah. So can you separate them so you don't mess that up? 5.
That's what she said.
4.
3, 2, 1.
No.
Let go.
Oh my God. 3.
Back it up.
2. Okay. All right. So here we go. Let's get into it. Top 5 true crime TVs of all time. Top 5 best true crime TV shows of all time. And I say all time, even though some of these shows are still currently playing, but I still think that they're better than shows that you may have seen that are like not playing anymore. Take it away, Eva.
Coming in at number 5, this. I think this aired on HBO, was it, or was it? This was Netflix. Netflix aired on Netflix,
And we watched this.
and we watched this.
We watched all of these.
Making a Murderer. Now, I really enjoyed this show. And so Making a
Did
Murderer.
you?
Yes, I did, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So
And please tell me if anyone in the audience has seen the show Making a Murderer, which it's the story about Stephen Avery.
Yeah. So Stephen Avery for more
Avery.
I think that's what I said.
Nope.
Stephen Avery for more than a decade as the center of two controversial criminal trials. Avery's 1985 conviction for violating and attempting to kill a woman was exonerated, and he made it his life and his mission to expose the corruption of the law enforcement agency that put him in prison. Then in 2007, he was convicted for the 2005 death of a Wisconsin photographer named Teresa Halbach. Sentenced to life behind bars.
But do you remember how this fucking shit played out?
Yes,
they
absolutely.
fucking harassed this guy.
So here's what happened, right? So the Averys were they had a like a generational business. They had like they owned like some wrecking metal farm, some big company
in Wisconsin,
right? So like, for lack of a better term, I mean, these people, they had money, but they were like people who lived in the sticks, they were like, for quote unquote, for lack of a better term, hillbillies, whatever, but they had money, so they got to do whatever the hell they wanted. And the people in the town didn't like them. The law enforcement in the town didn't like the family, but because they had so much money, they really got to do whatever hell they wanted. So through like long time rivalry, one of the officers decided to like really have it out for one of the family members, which was Stephen Avery.
Yeah, and like when something went down in the town, they were like, go to the Avery property.
Yes.
And they fucking, so then when they tried to fucking accuse him of that first charge, he then tried to go like and like put them.
Well, so what happened is that they ended up like they tried to arrest him on the first charge, and in that whole investigation there was like planting of evidence. I mean, they were trying to set him up.
Yeah.
It was really like the cops went there for like, I don't know, a freaking a loud noise of report, and all of a sudden they're trying to pin a murder on him. It was like one of those situations. So that's why it's called. That's why the show was called Making a Murderer.
Yeah.
Because it was literally the cops. They had to make this guy a murderer, and the whole show is based on all the evidence and all the lengths that the agency, law enforcement agency in that town went to make this guy a murderer.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
This poor guy is fucking serving life in prison now.
Yeah. And you know what's funny, right? Is I actually experienced something like that. Not like this, this, but I actually experienced like that one time. Like I was living in, in my town where I grew up in North Plainfield, and I went to go swimming. I went swimming at my friend's house, and then I had my car parked down the street. So after we were done swimming, I walked back to my car, and my car was like parked in front of this like restaurant, but like nobody really parks there. So like it just looked suspicious that my car was parked in front of this restaurant. So when I came back to my car, there was a cop down the street waiting to find out like whose car that was, because I guess they thought that maybe I was like breaking into a building or something like that. So the cop rolls up on me, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" Blah blah blah. I have a towel and I'm in like a bathing suit, and like so he's like trying to pin me on something, because he sat there and waited this whole time thinking that he had something, and all he had was some kid that was down the street swimming in a pool. So like he was sitting there and he was like trying to like figure out what to do, and he had like 6 other cops come, and they like basically they were sitting there because once they finally figured out that I wasn't doing nothing, they were trying to sit there and wait for me to. They were trying to make me wait until it became time where I couldn't park there legally, so they could at least write me a parking ticket.
Are you fucking serious?
Yes, and I could see them. They were sitting there clicking their fingers and like doing all this stuff, and then like one of them was all of a sudden he was like, "Hey, listen, what's this next to your car?" And I'm like, "Nothing." He goes, "What's in your hand?" I'm like, "There's nothing in my hand." And he takes an empty bag and he throws it in my hand. He goes, "There is now." And they all started laughing. They thought it was a big joke. They were all fucking with me, like they were just sitting there having fun with me.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was fucked up. It was really fucked up to be in that situation. So like,
You can identify.
I can
with
identify
that?
with this shit, because like I was a victim of this.
So let's move on to number 4, because some people are sounding off and I'm getting a little nervous right now.
All right. So coming in at number 4.
Because honestly, like out of top 5, I liked that show.
Yeah.
I didn't love it.
Yeah. So coming in at number 4 is Snapped.
This one I loved.
True crime reality series examines a different felon. Usually
different felons.
You just have felon here.
It says examines a different felon.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Usually a female
Mm-hmm.
who has committed murder or attempted murder.
Mm-hmm.
So this show was dope because it really showed like,
And Melissa said it. She said snapped.
yo, it really showed like there's nothing worse than a woman scorn. Like you don't. It really like. Yeah, you know, like yeah, it's okay. Go with your friends. Come here. You know, like when a woman snaps, this was the essence of that show, showing how women, when they're pushed to the brink emotionally, the extent that they will go to fucking show you their wrath,
And they fucking snapped.
and they fucking snapped.
Because historically, women are not the threat in society when it comes to murder or attempted murder. The majority of these type of actions happen men.
Yeah, and by the way, that little that's a skit from Pablo Francisco. It's a comic.
Yeah.
It's a comic comedian that we like to watch, and he does like this skit where, like, you know, he has like this this character where it's like this girl that he dates and like she's cool, but in reality she's a psycho.
Yeah,
you know, and like
she's like, yeah, go with your friends. I'll fucking kill you.
And then, like that's the character that she turns into when she snaps. You know, she turns into like, you know, Woody Woodpecker. So anyway, yeah. So snapped.
And this show is currently still airing.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's from 2004. I mean, which is like quite a long time ago for, I don't even know how many fucking seasons that is. So, but like, I can tell you that from watching that show, there are times that I'm just kind of like, I get why she did that. He was a fucking dick.
Yo, let me tell you something, man. This show right here, I used to love watching. All of these, you know what? I used to love watching all these shows for basically the same reason. Is because I used to just wonder, like, I used to always be curious about the way that the investigation process went down, right?
I'm going to tell you what's interesting about that. That ties directly to the fetish of like pimple popping, and it's a morbid curiosity of and what that means is a curiosity of unpleasant things. You enjoy watching these people go through this bullshit.
No.
What do you mean?
No.
You just said that you like you.
I enjoy watching the investigative part of
Yeah.
it. Why? Not because I enjoy watching these people go through that shit. It's because I've been through my fair share of bullshit.
I love how Evil's like, no.
No. Yeah, I've been through my fair share of fucking running into the law. That it's like, to me, this is like an inside scoop on the way that they do things.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And like, I play back the shit that I've been through. I'm like,
Meanwhile, I'm watching and I'm just like, oh, she chopped him up into 20 pieces.
Nah.
I kind of love that.
Let me tell you something. And this really falls into the next one, hardcore. So
yeah, and this is, and the next one is the one that used to fucking give me nightmares.
So coming in at number 3.
This is Evil's favorite, but it's not the top.
Listen, the ones that you have coming up were my favorite prior to the show.
Correct.
Right? So this one right here took place of my other ones because they were airing no more. So this coming in at number 3 was the most fucking phenomenal murder mystery.
Wait, what?
Murder mystery. I fucked that shit up.
Okay, but say from the top, please.
This show to me was the most phenomenal true crime show of all time.
Look that way. Come on, you're killing me,
Why
bro.
you have to cut me off, man?
I love you. Do it again.
This show was the most phenomenal true crime show story that I've experienced to date. And that's the first 48. Yo.
I can hear the sound from the first 48 when they cut from scene to scene. When they're like, when they go from like finding the information about the crime that has been committed, from the crime that's been committed to them finding the person, from them bringing the person into fucking interrogating this person. And the amount of times that I've watched that show with you and watch people be interrogated and it be the most difficult thing to watch, because I'm like, this person is a fucking idiot.
So let me tell you something about First 48, right? What I used to love about this show the most was, one, the stories, right? I mean, they went into like the most gangsterish parts, cities of the United States. They literally the Chicago, Detroit, the other ones are like escaping me right now. But They literally went and filmed in the most roughest precincts that you can experience in the United States. And they went and they aired some of the most craziest murder stories. And so what I loved about it the most is like how it would start with a phone call, report to the police, right?
Yeah.
Police would show up on scene, and all of a sudden they're trying to piece this whole thing together. You know, how the hell this happened? And they don't really have nothing that like directly ties the person to the murder. All they have is like just all circumstantial shit. So then they get a lead, and then this person is their prime suspect, and so they have to do it within the first 48, because after the first 48, like
everything shit starts to go cold.
Shit starts to go cold, right?
Yeah.
So they get this person in, and all of a sudden they start interviewing them. And what blew my mind is that every time that they interviewed somebody, they didn't have shit. The cops never had nothing.
Eva, I'm watching you on the TV right now. You're so fucking excited
Yo,
talking about
because
this.
I just could not believe how many times these people fucking folded.
Yeah.
They would not have, the cops wouldn't have nothing.
They'd be like, your friend is in the other room and he
these-
just dimed
yes.
you out. And that wouldn't even be true. That there would be nobody in the other room.
Or
and the person would be like, Bob said that?
or whatever.
Oh, that's not what happened.
The person is in the other room. They do have him, but he's not talking either.
Yeah.
And they're going to come back like, yo, your man he just turned you in. Like, he just gave us everything.
Everything.
So what are you going to tell us to contradict what he said? Because right now, the way it's looking, you're doing life.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, and just
it
all
will
of a
be
sudden you hear a fucking brick drop out of this guy's ass or this person's ass, right? And they would get these people to snap and fold off of nothing. I mean, it's genius. Their interrogation tactics are spot on. I mean, these men take nothing and make something out of thin air, right? But what I used to love to watch was the ones that didn't break.
Yeah. And there was one that was amazing. And I'll never forget that one scene when the guy was like, I ain't telling y'all shit.
Not only that.
And guess what? He was like, you not trying to incriminate. You remember that case?
Yes, I remember.
When the guy was like, you trying to get me to say, he goes, you think I'm stupid?
Well,
he goes,
so-
I'm going to sit here and say nothing.
No,
How about
the
that?
funny thing was is that like he was talking to the cops, but he was smart and he knew what he could say and he knew what not to say. And every time the cops would like try to like bait him into saying something that would incriminate him, he would be like, nah, I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
Right. And he's like, so he's basically trying to have a conversations with the cops, trying to give them information that would be helpful to them in a way, but catching them when they try to slide him on something that'll make him incriminate himself.
Yeah.
And every single time they tried to pull that tactic, he stiff arm him.
Yeah.
No. And it got to the point where like he did it, like the cops did it 3 times where they tried to like make him say something that would incriminate himself. And the cop was like, yo, and he like basically
Not the cop.
The guy told the cop basically like, listen, don't make no mistake. You're not my friend. Because like that's the cop was trying to play like his friend. You're not my friend. You're not here to help me. Your job is to pin somebody to this murder. And I know it is, okay? And he was basically like just called him out on his bullshit and told him stop fucking with me or I'm not going to talk to you no more.
And he was like, are you have any charges on me? Because if
Yeah.
you don't, I would like to go
And
now.
basically he shut down after that. And he
Yeah.
told him like that's it. I'm not talking to you no more. And they had to let him go.
Yeah.
And he got off.
Yeah.
And he was the murderer.
Was he?
Yes.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yes. He was the murderer.
I probably don't remember it because at a certain point I said, Eva, we cannot watch this show anymore before we go to bed, because when I tell you I had the most horrific fucking nightmares about people coming into our house and doing awful shit to us, I was like, we cannot watch this show anymore before bed.
I used to watch this show to go to sleep.
Yeah,
Like-
but that's why I said before bed.
Like the way that some of you guys watch the Nature Channel to go to sleep. Nah, I fell asleep the first
What do you
48.
mean you guys? We do that now.
We do it now, but if I had my way, I would still be watching First 48 and all these murder mysteries to go to bed. You know, I had to switch it up a little bit because like Gina she was having nightmares when we went to sleep.
Mr. Jones, welcome to the stream. So we have 2 left and we're actually 5 minutes away from 9:30.
All right.
So let's move on to number 2 because I don't know if you could tell how excited Eva was talking about fucking First 48.
Listen, I used to binge watch First 48. Not only that, I've literally watched every season that they have. I follow them all through those states.
Well, it's still current.
No, they're playing. Gotta be playing reruns.
No, it's still current.
All right. Well, I felt like they stopped airing it. But
Okay, but
I guess I'm
anyway,
wrong.
let's go.
All right. So
Number two.
Coming in at number 2 is the classic, the most notoriously known, America's Most Wanted.
Now, do you remember why
Yes.
America's Most Wanted started?
America's Most Wanted was so dope. It was because the host of America's Most Wanted his daughter was murdered.
John Walsh.
John Walsh, his daughter was murdered, and
He was dedicated to bringing criminals to justice. Like
criminals
that
to
was like the
justice, yes.
slogan.
And so that's really what like resonated with people, and really made the show so popular. And he was really passionate about what he did, like I give him a lot of respect, man. Like I really like dedicated his life to trying to catch criminals and bring them to justice because of what happened to his daughter.
Interesting story. That show ran for like almost like close to 9 years.
Yeah, 88 to 96.
Yeah. Like I said, like close to 9 years. They actually just did a reboot on Fox that just aired this year. And it's hosted by a woman, and it's the same format. It's like bringing people to justice that are America's Most Wanted. I personally haven't seen it. But I want to tune in because I want to know, I want to see if it makes me feel the same way. Because I don't know about you, when I would watch America's Most Wanted, did you not go out into the world and be like, that guy kind of looks like the guy I fucking saw on TV last night? Like, did it not like potentially like make your mind think differently about other people?
When it was airing, I used to try to like memorize like, or the people who they would have on the Most Wanted posters, but for the most part, no.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, nowadays we actually have here in the state of New Jersey, we have electronic billboards that have America's Most Wanted. Like as you're driving, it'll be like the 3 most wanted people like right in front of you. Not that I'm gonna remember that when I'm driving, unless I'm a passenger. But America's Most Wanted was one of those shows that you watched it, and the part about it that I love the most is when one of the new episodes would come on and they would air a person that was captured from the show. So like it would be like a person that called in that saw a person on America's Most Wanted and called into the fucking show and was like, such and such lives next fucking door to me. Yeah. Like, and then they would like have a little segment of that, and it made you feel like by watching it you were taking part and potentially helping. Yeah. Well, so I feel like that was like even more of the drawing to it.
When this 5G shit launches, facial recognition is gonna start coming out.
Oh God, Evo and his fucking conspiracy theories.
This shit is going on in Asia. Like they have more cameras per square foot than any place on the planet.
Everybody who did like that little face challenge a year ago or like a year and a half ago, they got your face already anyway.
Face in a database anyway.
You basically just gave Facebook your fucking information anyway. So what difference does it make? That's why I deleted Facebook and I deleted all of my pictures and I never partake in any of those things that it's just
they got your shit anyway.
Who?
The Facebook.
No, if you actually remove them from the app, they don't.
That's what you think.
Okay, great. I Google myself on the regular, and Evo knows this to be true because recently I sent him a shot of something that I Googled, and I was like, "Did you see this shit?" But let's go on to our number one for the night because some people have sounded off already.
All right, so
and this is number one.
Coming in at number one is the all-time classic, cannot be fucked with, undisputable heavyweight champion of the world, Unsolved Mysteries.
And tell me when Evo said that. No, right.
I'm all off with the tongue.
It goes. Like, listen, you and I wish I could play the audio for you, but we would get fucking copywritten.
For real.
Tell me the minute Evo said Unsolved Mysteries, you didn't fucking hear that tune in your head.
Oh man, this was my show. Like for real.
And
this is where it all started.
And the host of the show, his voice made you feel like you were watching something that was like the most amazing like mystery ever to the world. Because not only did they do true crimes, they also did some sci-fi shit. Like they did like unsolved mysteries. Yeah.
So what I really liked about Unsolved Mysteries is that like I think that this was a point in my life where I was really unaware of the world around me, and it really like kind of took you places where things were happening where you didn't even know they were happening. But not only did you not know that they were happening, but they were happening in parts of the place of the world that you didn't even know existed. I mean, that was my experience, and so like that shit really like took me on a trip, and that's why I was so hooked on this goddamn show.
And Eddie says he needs to be a consultant because he literally said Unsolved Mysteries right out the door.
For real.
And when he said it, when he typed it, I was like, oh my God, he already knows. He already knew what number one was. Uh,
That was good.
yes, and that actually brings us to the end of the live. I had so much fun tonight with you, and I'm glad that we chose to do something a little bit more lighthearted
Yeah,
today.
me too.
I actually think for the next couple lives, we probably will do them a little bit more lighthearted. But I'll be honest.
It all depends. I mean, if there's something, if there's like a trending topic that needs to be talked about, we're gonna go
But
there.
you know what it is? And real talk. Evil and I are not writers.
No,
We're like, I think about other shows that literally have people writing for them. So like, these things come to us, like literally someone will be talking to me and they'll say something and I'll be like, hold on a second.
That's a great
And
idea
I'll
for the show.
fucking make a note. And when I tell you that I've had top five best true crime shows on the back burner for like 6 fucking months.
Okay.
So like these are ideas that, it comes into play in a certain time. But so sometimes it's easier said than done type shit.
Okay.
But I hope everyone enjoyed our show tonight. We had so much fun being with you all here tonight. Until next Friday. And again, we got that donation link up top. If you would like to donate to our live streams
support.
so that we can continue to be here for you and have these fun times.
And bring you more quality content.
Right? More money, more money, more money. But yeah, so until next Friday,
Peace
peace
out.
out.